Global War 36 enthusiast here with Operation Regimental Combat Team, turn 12.5, Commonwealth. It is January 1942. The Commonwealth has 2 tech roles. First, I tried for anti-submarine warfare at a 7 or higher. PB generated a 3, so I failed. Second, I tried for long-range aircraft at an 8 or higher. PBE generated a 5, so I failed. Let's go to purchases. Okay, I'll do the housekeeping after the purchases. Great Britain has 21 IPP to spend. I will purchase 1 airborne for 3, 2 Marines for 8, that's 11, 1 fighter for 10, that's 21. FEC has 10 IPP to spend. I will upgrade 1 militia to an infantry for 2 and purchase 2 Gurkhas for 8, that's 10. ANZAC has 8 IPP to spend. I'll purchase nothing and save 8. And previewing the Free French, they have 3 IPP to spend. They will purchase nothing and save 3. Okay, housekeeping. You can see I've got a militia upgrade militia there. Hambone was filling in for Sergeant Shellhole, and he had a militia there in Shantung instead of a infantry. So he was going to use that for his militia upgrade. But since it was an infantry, of course he can't do that. So he elected to put a militia somewhere. Let's see, did I write that down? Yes, he's putting the militia in Karulin. And he's going to do the militia upgrade in Eastern Manchuria. Let me see if I don't think that's on camera. Let's pull that over slightly. Okay, that guy is going to get converted to an infantry. There we go. All right, combat. Got some combat moves this turn. We're going to be doing an attack first, we're going to put a fighter from southern England. We'll go on map and try to kill a sub. I'm going to be so hurt if I miss because I've been rolling low. Just be consistent, Lady Luck. All right, I'm going to be doing an airborne assault here in Picardy. So the way it works is if you cross a border where there's a fortification, this is in normal zones that are not special fortification zones, but this fortification is protecting between Picardy and A22. So I'm going to use this air transport to carry an airborne to A22, then Normandy, and then hit Picardy from the side, coming in from this border, and drop it off, and I'll land back in London. In London, I have 5 fighters, and they can fly out, say, 1 to 23, 2 to Belgium, 3 to Picardy. I offered Hambone to scramble his 3 fighters in Paris, and he declined because it would have been 3 fighters versus 5 fighters. So that's going to be 1 attack here. Airborne. Where's my airborne infantry? There, and hopefully he only hits once. All right. Let's see. What else do we have? Okay, in C-Zone A27, I'm going to have this ANZAC destroyer move up to A18 and go on escort duty. And then I'm going to, from C-Zone M2, I am going to move a destroyer and a submarine over through the Italians in A44 and A35 up into A27. I did ask Hambone if he wanted to declare war. Of course he didn't, but I needed to do that during the combat movement phase to comply with 9.1. All right, is there any other combat? Oh yeah, I do have Oh, I guess I have a couple other moves. In Gibraltar, the battle cruiser will leave port to Sea Zone M2. It's going to join this task force card. And then these ships here that are on this task force card, consisting of a light carrier, a battle cruiser, 4 heavy cruisers, 2 British light cruiser, 1 Anzac light cruiser, and 1 destroyer. That group will move to M4, then M8, then I5, and then move into I4. I didn't even ask Hambone if he wants to engage with the Japanese sub or declare war with the Italians. It would not make any sense at all. If he did, he could scramble out of port there, but he doesn't want to do any of that. So I didn't even ask him because I know that he wasn't gonna do that. Okay. And then from Cape Town, I've got a fighter, and it is going to fly to I4 and land on that light carrier. So it'll actually be up here. Okay. And is that everything? Oh no, Maharashtra. Oh, there's another little move. From Kuwait, this heavy cruiser will move down and join the Navy. And then from southern India, 1 FEC infantry will move into Maharashtra and capture that back for the FEC. So FEC moves up 1 to 10, and Japan moves down 1 to 49. Okay, is that everything? I think that's everything. Yep, okay. So we've got some combat to roll. Let's tee this up, see how it goes. Let's go a little bit over this way. All right, I've got 1 fighter at 6 versus a sub. It would be nice to hit. And I do, that's awesome, phenomenal. Okay, so that is 1 sub down. And then I've got Picardy. I've got 5 at 6 with my fighters. I need 2 hits. Oh, only 1 hit, and then I've got 1 at 3 with the airborne. Nope. So he has 1 at 2. I just don't want him to hit twice. And 1 at 4. Does hit. Okay, so I've got a retreat. So I traded an airborne for a militia. Not a good trade. Was really hoping that he would miss and I would hit, but I missed. It's a good thing he didn't scramble, because that could have gone a lot worse for me. So I'm going to land the 4 fighters. Whoops. Yeah, here we go. 4 of the fighters will land in London. 1 of the fighters will land in southern England. And the fighter that's on map there will fly back to southern England, come off map. And the air transport will land in London. So in London right now I got 4 fighters and an air transport. Alrighty. Let's see. I think that's... Is there anything else that I have? I think that's it. Okay, Sea Zone... from London, 1 heavy cruiser will leave port to Sea Zone A22, and then it's going to move down to A44, because those subs, they have to submerge after the first round, so I can move through them. I will move down here. I guess the Italians could declare war. I should have done this move during the combat movement phase because the Italians could declare war in A35. I hope that's okay. If I did have it written down, let me see if I've got this. London. Yeah, I've got the heavy cruiser leaves port to A22, moves to A44. Let's see if I can get that on camera. Heavy cruiser leaves port to A22, moves to sea zone A44, goes in port in Gibraltar. I had it in the non-combat movement phase, but per 9.1, it should have been in the combat movement phase. And Hambone, I should have asked you if you wanted to declare war. I don't think that you will want to declare war, but that's when I should have done it. So that guy is teleported down to Gibraltar. All right, and then from M2, I'm going to have this battleship and 2 torpedo boat destroyers go in port in Gibraltar. Ugh. Making a mess. Basically, I'm hoping that it's the same as marking it if I've written it down. Does that make sense? You know, if I had marked it down. Okay, let's see, from M2, go in Gibraltar. Okay, from M2, 1 naval transport will strategic naval move up to A22 and go in port in London. So that's okay for me to move past the Italians during non-combat movement phase because you can't, what do you call that? Intercept strategic naval movement. You can't declare war on strategic naval movement. So the Italians wouldn't be able to stop that particular little move. Not that they would want to. Okay, from Gibraltar, 1 seaplane will fly to Labrador. So 1 to A44, 2 to A35, 3 to A27, 4 to A19, 5 to A18, 6 lands in Labrador. Okay. You're giving me fits, Hambone. Okay, now we've got more moves down here in Gibraltar from Sea Zone M2. The Anzac transport and British transport will pick up 3 Marines from Gibraltar. They'll move 1, 2 to M8. Now, do I want to move into I5? Yes, I do. They'll move into I5, drop off the 3 Marines in Lower Egypt, and go in port on the southern half of Lower Egypt. Okay. Let's see, is there anything I'm missing here? I think I've done all my Gibraltar stuff. Sorry for this delay. Fighter, transport. Okay, from Lower Egypt, that medium bomber will fly 1 to I5, 2 to I4, 3 to I7, 4 to southern India, 5 to Calcutta. Now we've got some Africa moves here. In Belgian Congo, this infantry will move down 1 to Rhodesia. From South Africa, this infantry will move up 1 to Rhodesia. That'll turn this into a red ship. And then from Cape Town, the infantry will strategic rail move to Rhodesia. Bring us up to 7 infantry and a cavalry there in Rhodesia. Okay. Then we come over to India. From Calcutta, I've got this task force marker card consisting of 1 FEC infantry, 2 Gurkhas, 2 British anti-aircraft artillery, and 2 FEC anti-aircraft artillery. And that task force will move from Calcutta into Bengal. From Benares, 2 Gurkhas will join them. That'll turn that into a green ship. From southern India, the Anzac artillery will strategic rail move to Bengal. Join the task force card. From southern India, everything that remains will move into Calcutta. So I've got 2 infantry. Oh boy, let's see. Let's move these planes out of the way. That might make it easier for me to shuttle these guys over there. So 7 FEC infantry will move over there. 2 British infantry are in Calcutta now. And then we're going to move 2 Gurkhas and 1 Anzac artillery and 3 FEC anti-aircraft artillery. We're going to move there into Calcutta. All right, and then it's got that medium bomber and the fighter. All right, let me double check and see if there's anything I missed there. Nope. And then down in Australia, got a couple moves. First, this sub is going to move 3 spaces. 1 to, whoops, rolling has a mind of its own. 1 to P70, 2 to P69, 3 to I14. And then here in Sydney, we'll have 4 militia and, or actually we'll just say 3 militia and 4 infantry will move to New South Wales. So that'll get us to 4 infantry, 4 militia in New South Wales. 1 militia, 1 motorized, 1 anti-aircraft artillery in Sydney. Also reviewing down here, we've got North Island and South Island have a militia each there. For Anzac, New Guinea has a militia, and then the sub is here in I-14. So I've done the disposition for Anzac. I'll come back and do everything else later. Okay, is there anything I'm missing there? Placement of units. Anzac didn't place anything. FEC bought 2 Gurkhas and upgraded militia to an infantry. All of that is happening in Bengal. So what that's going to do is it's going to add another FEC infantry because that militia got turned into an infantry. I'll remove the militia. And then add 2 Gurkhas, which brings us up to a red chip for the Gurkhas there. So I got 2 FEC infantry, 6 Gurkhas at the end of the turn. All right. And then for Great Britain, I am going to put the fighter in Cape Town. Yeah, I went to all that trouble to try to do Picardy and didn't accomplish anything. All right, then I've got in London, I'm going to place the airborne and 2 Marines, and that'll be on this task force card up here. Airborne. And then the 2 Marines. Okay, let's collect some income. So Great Britain is sitting at 27 plus 5 bonus income, 32 for next turn. Just so frustrating. 12 turns of rolling for anti-sub warfare. Got how many? I do have 3 stages, so I'm 25% success on that particular tech. Then FEC. FEC is at 10. They spent everything, so they end the turn with 10. Anzac collects 7. They had 8, so they end the turn with 15. I think I'll keep some 1s because I have a feeling I'm not going to keep all that money. So 15 for Anzac. Now we begin Free France. They had 3. They didn't spend any. They don't have any combat movement. So they will, let's see, they're going to have some moves down here in Africa. From Cameroon, 1 Foreign Legion will strategic rail move to Cape Town. So I take the river to Belgian Congo, then I take the rail to Rhodesia and down into Cape Town. And then from Belgian Congo, 1 mechanized infantry will move to South Africa. I think it will just sit like that. Is there any other movement for Free France? Nope. I collect 3, so I end the turn with 6. Let's do disposition of forces. All right. In northern England, 1 militia. In southern England, 5 militia, 4 infantry, 2 fighters, the American jet fighter, 2 anti-aircraft artillery. In Sea Zone A23, 2 coastal defense ships, 1 destroyer, 2 torpedo boat destroyers. In port in London, French battleship and 2 naval transports. In London itself, 1 airborne infantry, 2 marines, 4 fighters, and an air transport. Let's see. Down here in Sea Zone A28, 2 light carriers, a tactical bomber, a fighter, a battleship, a destroyer, and 2 submarines. On escort duty in A18, an Anzac destroyer. Down in port in Gibraltar, there is an American battleship, 2 British battleships, a heavy cruiser, 2 torpedo boat destroyers, 3 American destroyers, 1 American attack transport, 1 normal American transport, and 1 British naval transport. In Gibraltar, there's 1 militia, 1 infantry, then 2 American infantry, 1 American marine, 1 American artillery, 1 British anti-aircraft artillery, 1... Oh, I want to fly that fighter, the fighter I wanted to fly to Lower Egypt. Okay, back here, American fighter, American medium bomber. In Sea Zone M2, I don't have any British ships, I just have that French sub. Malta has a militia, Cyprus has a militia, Syria has a militia, Transjordan has 3 infantry, Lower Egypt has a militia, 6 infantry, a mountain infantry, 3 marines, 3 anti-aircraft artillery, a fighter, and a French medium bomber. In port on the southern side of Lower Egypt, an Anzac naval transport and a British naval transport. In Upper Egypt, 5 infantry. In Sea Zone I-4, let's get this on the task force card. Okay, let's look here at I-4. There is a light carrier with a fighter, 1 battle cruiser, 5 heavy cruisers, 2 British light cruisers, 1 Anzac light cruiser, 1 destroyer. Okay, down in Belgian Congo, a Foreign Legion. In Rhodesia, 7 infantry, 1 cavalry. In South Africa, a Free French mechanized infantry. In Cape Town, a British militia, a Free French Foreign Legion, and a British fighter. In India, oh, I forgot Kuwait. There's a militia and an infantry. In Maharashtra, there is an FEC infantry. In Ceylon, militia. In Hong Kong, an infantry. In Benares, there's a militia. In Cape Town, 3 militia, 2 British infantry, 7 FEC infantry, 2 Gurkhas, 1 Anzac artillery, 3 FEC anti-aircraft artillery, 1 fighter, 1 medium bomber. In Bengal, 2 FEC infantry, 6 Gurkhas, 1 Anzac artillery, 2 British anti-aircraft artillery, 2 FEC anti-aircraft artillery. Next up is Hambone with 12.7, Italy.